Yo, Flows, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. It's going to be exciting, I hope. But we do have Jeff in the house and PJ. How are you
Yo,
guys going? And
okay.
Vicky,
Okay.
obviously, in the background.
Just my
She's,
dog.
she's standing there ready with a cast to smack him over the head if he says something wrong.
That's it. That's it.
Hope you guys have been having a good day.
Absolutely,
And
man.
okay.
Good to see everybody in the YouTube lands as well. Please hit the likes, share the show. Really do appreciate your coming. Sea Lion, the link is linked in the top. I will put a new one for you. He is one of the guys that said he wants to come debate, so that's good. Can you believe it? We actually got someone who wants to come debate.
Cool.
Yeah. But guys, hit the likes, share the show. Really appreciate you. Oh, Ryan's in the house as well. What's up, Ryan?
Hello.
Good to see you, man.
Good.
So, yeah, very talkative tonight.
No, I'm just trying to work out. My list of downloads have gone. I don't know how to get it back when I'm trying to play.
Can't you get on the history, maybe?
It's just when I'm trying to upload it to StreamYard. I haven't got a clue. I'll fix it at some point.
So anyway, we're waiting for Sea Lion to come in. He said he wants to debate, so that'll be exciting stuff.
Mhm.
There were others that said they want to come in. We'll see if they do come in. Glad you guys could all make it. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Norman Cross, Moomin Rider, Two Wolves, Glenn Selsh, Aziz, Jeff Conker, obviously, Chat GPT, Bachelor that's no longer here. Awesome Zero, he asked me, will you debate Sean? I said yes if he shows up. But do you really think Sean will show up? That's the thing. What's up, Derek Nelson and Saddlebum? Woohoo! Do you guys think Sean will ever show up there?
Sean Hawkins.
Well, I don't know.
Well, he showed up to Rogers and Ryan's the other night.
Hi, Fireball the Ferret. Thank you for. He's in Twitch side. Good to see you, and good to see you too, Roger. And we've got Omnivore. I'm guessing this is Sea Lion.
Wondering if you should hide things before you get bombed.
Yeah, I got my thing on this.
You got
You going Omnivore? I'm guessing this is Sea Lion.
Sea Lion will be joining shortly.
Oh. Peter, got quite a few people trying to join now. Hey, Sea Lion. Hey, Sea Lion, what's up?
Much. How's it going, Flatzoid?
You're good, man. You doing well?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been on a war tour with
That's
Muhammad,
good,
my
that's
man.
On a world tour.
You got your
You know
coffee?
that, Ro? I got my coffee. Yeah, I got a nice sugar-filled American coffee, but it's good if you don't sleep at all.
That's good. So you say you want to debate?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, what is your preferred topic?
Well, I was thinking curvature, optical or physical, could be fun.
Yeah, that can be good. I definitely think it's optical.
Sure.
Let's go grab a coffee, guys.
Gotcha.
So we could jump into it now. Do you want to do it? How do you
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to bring up anything specific,
Yeah, sure.
you obviously think it's physical.
Yes, I do. Do you want me to make an affirmative case and then you'll take the negative, or how do you want to structure it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we'll definitely have to see because you're claiming it's physical. Would you be able to show how it's physical though?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have basically my argument is that the measurements that are taken of optical curvature precisely match those that are taken with other devices that do not rely on optics, which are the same, which produce the same value of curvature that is required for all systems of navigation to function.
And what you talking about? What measurements did they? they use for this curvature?
Yeah, so I like to cite specific people. So the people that I know are people within my Discord server, people like Jesse Gordon, who I think you've spoken to in the past. Give a little
And Jesse
praise.
Gordon uses optical devices like a theodolite.
Yes.
Yeah, we know Jesse.
Yeah, you know Jesse.
Yeah. Jesse's a
Yeah.
nice guy.
He's a great
Um,
guy.
Yeah. But you said that they're using non-optical.
Correct. Yeah.
Can you cite any non-optical measurements?
Well, I think we need to determine what you will accept as a measurement first.
Well, definitely not calculation.
So you want to make a distinction between first and second order measurements, then? Is that correct?
Yeah, because you see, the thing is, most of the globe-based measurements are actually just calculations. They're based on the assumption of like a WGS84 model. So they take an assumed ellipsoidal model, and then they take the planar measurements and calculate the curve into it.
Like what?
They lie.
Which ones in particular are you referring to?
Geodetic surveying.
Geodetic survey. So what constitutes a measurement of curvature in your view in geodetic surveying?
Geodetic surveying usually comes after the planar surveying. So they usually take something, I think it's like 150 miles and above. So the planar surveying only does to 150 miles. But we know you can't really measure anything up to 150 miles anyway.
Why not?
Can you show me any measurements up to 150 miles?
Oh yeah, let me find one.
What's up, Peter?
Hey, what's up? Can you guys
Good
hear
to
me
see you,
okay?
man. Yeah.
I have one of
Flatzoid's
Jesse's measurement that's at 20 miles. It clearly measures the curvature.
20 miles.
Yeah.
I have one from
And,
Shugo.
How much curve should we see in 20 miles?
Exactly the amount corresponding to the radius of 6,371 kilometers.
So my point, they calculate the ellipsoidal model into the calculations.
That's not how I did my measurement.
How did you do it? But you said Jesse Gordon did it.
Not only Jesse, many people. There are 4 parameters in the measurement. 2 elevations, 1 distance over surface, and 1 zenith angle. The last one is a measurement by Jesse.
And you understand all those measurements are based on horizontal datum.
Absolutely, yes.
So you require the planar surveyed measurement, and then you calculate the curve into it.
The measurement of the building's height is known by the builders. The measurement of the 2 locations' elevation of sea level is done using precise surveying methods, yes.
Yeah, and it's over the same horizontal.
No, well, that's what we need to find out, don't we? We cannot presuppose any particular
No, it's
shape.
definitely measured over the same horizontal. Because mean sea level
Well, if you
is
claim so, if that is the case, then the zenith angle measurement will correspond to a horizontal plane, right?
Yeah, a zenith measure is always plumb. It's always vertical to horizontal.
Yeah. So the angle between the 2 locations will correspond to a Euclidean triangle if we're on a flat Earth, right?
That's calculation. That's not measurement.
It is a measurement.
No. If you make a triangle, it's a calculation, not a measurement. The measurement is the horizontal. The horizontal you're measuring over, and the angle, elevation angle. The triangle you're trying to do is a calculation.
Not really. In nature, geometric shapes have properties. So knowing, let's say, 2 of those properties tells us about the rest of the geometric figure.
Yeah, so it's, again, calculation, not measurement.
Measuring a radius tells you the circumference, right? This is a measurement of circumference. There's a fixed relationship in nature.
Yeah, but is it circumference measured or calculated?
Measured.
No, it's calculated. Circumference is calculated.
Well, it's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible to have 2 different circles with the same radius. Anyways,
Yeah.
so knowing one tells you the other. It's a fixed ratio.
Yeah, but that's calculation again. That's what I'm trying to say to you. It's calculation. It's not measured. You're assuming
really, it's a
that
measure.
it's making a spherical triangle. You're talking
No,
about
hell no.
zenith reciprocal angles.
Well, who mentioned
But you're saying that because you're probably going to
the
say
spherical
it,
triangles?
yeah, because you're going to say it calculates up over 180 degrees.
No, jeez, why
Then-
invoke
Then
spherical
does it
triangles?
okay? Does
It's
it
very
stay?
controversial.
Does it stay in? Does it stay in 180 degrees then?
I'm not measuring that sort of triangle.
A triangle is an internal sum of
I'm measuring
180
a
degrees.
triangle in the vertical plane like this, orthographically.
No. You see, the thing is, you get
I'm not measuring a triangle over the surface.
okay. So, you're
you're
calculating
invoking
the
spherical
triangle.
triangles.
No, so you.
No, the
so you-
triangle is there.
Okay, I'm confused
nothing to
because it
calculate.
sounds like you're trying to evoke zenith reciprocal angles, which is based on spherical triangles.
No, I'm not invoking that. I could show you what I'm invoking if
Yeah,
you
you
let
can
me
show.
present. I have the whole shtick.
Yeah, please, that'd be great. But we'll get
Oh,
to you
okay.
now again. Sorry, C-Line, you got your thing yet?
Sure. I mean, I'm essentially presenting the same thing.
Oh,
So
okay,
I can have specific measurements if you'd like to see them, but I'm not sure that it's going to provide more than what Peter's showing here.
Conceptually, they're all the same. So, do you guys want to walk through this? Is this
Yeah,
showing
we
up
can
on
go
your
through it.
screens?
Yeah, it's on
You
there.
mean what could you?
Okay. So, so the first approach, we don't want to presuppose any type of shape of the Earth, right? Let's consider two possibilities. One is that the Earth is flat, and by that we mean that 2 points of equal elevation are always on the same horizontal plane. That's what flat Earth is. If the Earth is flat, let me jump here. This is the relationship. So if A is an observer, and C1 is let's say a top of a building, and B1 is the foundation of the building that's on the same elevation as A of the sea level, right? Then we will measure a certain angle, alpha 1, and that angle will correspond to this triangle. If we know the elevation here, and we know the distance over surface, this angle will match exactly this triangle as seen orthographically here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That elevation angle is the only measured angle. The rest is all
Yes.
calculation.
No, the rest are also measurements. The building's height is measured, the elevations of the sea level are measured.
Not from that
All of it
point.
is measured.
Well,
Not
you can
from
take
that
it
point.
as,
They were measured separately, yes. I agree.
but the building changes angular size with distance, correct?
Of course, and the size shrinks as you move away from the building. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So now, if we are on a curved Earth, I have a comparison. Sorry. So if that is true, then the relationship between the angle, alpha 1, and the height of the building and the distance will be arctan of h by d.
So calculation then.
No,
Yeah, it's calculation. You're saying
this
they
is a
have
fixed
relationships.
relationship.
You're giving relationships to each other, which means calculation, not measurement.
This is a relationship in a Euclidean triangle that is never violated.
Again, a
is a
Euclidean
property-
triangle is calculation. It's not measurement. You're only measuring one angle.
Yes, and 3 other
The
things
rest are
as well.
calculated. So when you're measuring your elevation angle, you're calculating the height of that building.
That
you're
is
calculating the
incorrect.
distance.
The
Me,
height
I
of the
have
building
a
is-
quick question
No,
here. Sorry.
No, I need to make a comment and then you can ask a question. This height of the building is measured independently, and the distance is measured independently.
Yes, you can measure them independently, but what you're doing now with your triangle is calculation.
See,
What
to
I'm
me,
showing is-
a measurement to me implies you usually have to physically measure something with an implement
Yes.
to so
Good.
that's
All right.
that's what I-
Okay.
We agree.
This question is okay. So when you measured the elevation angle to C1, what were you using to measure that elevation angle?
Theodolite.
Okay. And did
It's
you take into
optical.
account refraction?
Yes, I will show everything at the end.
And you
if
know the
like.
exact amount of refraction you have in between there.
I do not. I will show you my
Well,
conclusion
then,
at the end. okay?
unfortunately, that it is invalid then.
Well,
you do
maybe
not
we
know
should
the
look at
exact-
the
we're still
conclusion.
gonna, we're still going to get there though, because you're making my point that this is all just calculated based
No,
on
they're
assumptions.
not.
Okay,
They're
what
not.
what was the value for the refraction?
I will show you in a moment, okay? I want to agree on the principles first.
Yeah, like
So
I
the
said, I
principle
agree.
is,
We measure an elevation angle. We can measure a height and everything, but you measure them independently. You don't measure them all at once.
yes,
It's calculation.
exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. So I want to be very clear that the height of the building is known from a completely separate measurement done locally, not over long distance, but locally. And then the distance over surface is also measured using very precise incremental measurements as opposed to any sort of observation like this. So these values have been established by other people over hundreds of years in that particular location. And
Okay.
the only thing that Jesse is measuring is the angle here, okay? And this angle on a flat Earth would beautifully match this relationship. It has to. There's no other way about it, okay? So now, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. If the Earth is curving over this blue line, then the building that we're looking at, it still has the same elevation, and it still has the same distance over surface. It's just that the surface is curving. That's what we're about to discover. If that is the case, then we're going to measure a smaller angle, alpha 2, and it will be in this relationship. It will be less than arctan of h by d, as you
Which
can
is
see in this
calculation.
diagram. Thank you. So now moving on to the conclusion, because I might be overstaying my welcome here. These are the parameters of the measurement. Like I said, the height of the observer and the target are known independently. The distance over the surface are known independently. Here's the measurement. Surprisingly, the measurement produces a negative elevation angle, meaning that the top of this much taller building than the observer, by 50 meters taller than the observer, is below the eye level. So that's a surprising finding.
Do you
And
see? Wait,
here are the
quickly go back up.
conclusions.
Quickly go back up one.
Yeah.
Can you see the compression in the buildings there?
I see a reduction in angular size.
No, the compression.
I don't see a compression. I'm not adept at optics.
So what happens is it's got an optical effect to it. Sorry, it's got an optical effect to it. It's compressing the whole image. And this is what we say, when you take the refraction and everything into account, you're already assuming your outcome.
Yeah, let's draw the final conclusions.
But I'm trying to make a point quickly. You are taking something optical and you're calculating your sphere into it. That's making my point from the beginning. The
We're
only
going to find
measurement
out what I'm calculating
are horizontal.
Okay. So here are the conclusions. So the angle measured was negative 0.044 degrees. And we compared this measurement against the flat Earth Euclidean triangle that we had in the first slide and the points following the curvature. If we do this comparison, so this is the prediction, geometrical prediction from the two possibilities, we get errors in both. This is without refraction. And the ratio of the globe error to the flat Earth error is 6 times. So the globe is 6 times less wrong than flat Earth. When we include standard refraction, which is an assumption, of course, Jesse didn't measure the precise refraction on that day.
Well,
but
then
if we follow,
invalid.
oh yes, it is.
You do remember
so
you said that you're not. Wait. You said you don't take any assumptions.
I'm almost
wait.
done.
I'm stopping you because you said you don't make any assumptions. That's all you're doing the whole time is making assumptions.
Yes, we are making assumptions here regarding refraction. That's for sure.
So then, how is this a measurement?
I see, Sean.
It is a measurement. It is a measurement with a certain margin of error and precision.
No, it's a calculation based on your assumption of an ellipsoid.
Where did the ellipsoid come into play?
That terrestrial refraction you're stuck in is based on your radius value of your assumed globe.
It's more than I think it's more based on the behavior of light in the atmosphere.
No, it's based 7/6 is terrestrial refraction. It's based on your radius value.
Where's the radius value in this equation?
You said terrestrial refraction 7/6R.
I didn't say that. I said 1 degree per 1,500 kilometers.
And how did you get 1 degree over 1,500 kilometers?
It's a rule of thumb under standard atmospheric
7 over
conditions.
6R. That's where it
From
comes
this
from.
equation, yes.
It's terrestrial
From
refraction.
this-
So it's based on a
from this
radius of
equation.
your globe. You're literally pushing your globe into the calculations and saying it's a measurement.
Where am I doing that?
7 over 6 is the radius value of your globe. That's how your refraction is based on. Terrestrial refraction is
Well,
based on
why
the
are
radius
you
of your globe.
invoking that mantra? Is that a mantra that you
You
invoke?
are placing, you evoking it, you
You don't
placing
wanna
it
do
into
that,
this.
I know.
I didn't say
You're
it.
bloody abrupt and cheeky.
You don't have to. It's in your formula. Read it yourself. That's why you shouldn't be bringing someone else's
where is it?
formula. You should bring your own stuff.
I
Not,
see,
not
I see Sean's in chat saying he destroyed you twice, Flats. Sean's in
Where
chat
is
Oh,
it?
the same guy that sat dead still every time I told him to talk.
Yeah, he said he destroyed you twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Sean.
I think this is twice. So the final conclusion is, when we do incorporate standard refraction, the globe error is 89 times less than the flat Earth error. That's the
Yeah.
conclusion.
Oh my god.
So it's not a measurement, it's a calculation
And
based
this is
on
the final
your assumption.
conclusion.
Yeah, the final conclusion is you assumed it to be a globe. You've proven it's optical because all the corrections are based on optical measurement, and you just literally hand wave dismissed that observation had compression in it.
Okay, I have another question. Is the radius exactly the same everywhere on every point of the Earth?
No, it's not.
Then why do you keep using the same value and you don't vary it depending on where you're located? It's always the same.
Average.
Yeah, and then there you go. Oh, see, my calculations work. So how do you know what the exact radius is where you were standing
I do not
versus
know that.
where the point is? You don't know.
I do not know
So therefore, pardon me?
No constant radius, no
Yes.
blade spheroid, no.
So therefore,
Yes.
your calculations are all moot. They're garbage. You throw them
No.
out because there's so much variation
Remember
in
C-line?
the radius.
Remember C-line came in. We said let's see if we get out if it's optical or physical. Physical. You just shown that everything you presented means it's optical.
What's the difference between
100%.
optical and physical?
That beloved apparent
If you don't know
horizon
the
that you're
difference
trying
between
to
that and
count
something's wrong, bro.
as curve is just optical. It moves with the weather. It's not a physical horizon.
Do you
So
accept?
optics is not a physical phenomenon?
Optics is just apparent. It's like a hologram. It needs physicality to be able to refract an image, but it doesn't put that image in that point that you're seeing it.
Is
Have
the
you ever
light
seen when you put
physically
a straw in
entering my
water, how it
eyeballs?
looks like they're two separate pieces? It's the same thing.
I've seen magnification on days that you can't account for at all.
See, Lion, do you want to take over? I kind of jumped in with my. I couldn't
Oh no,
help
yeah,
myself.
you're good. I mean, I'm just curious because it's odd that you have an issue with the sort of geometric horizon that's predicted by a curvature rate when that curvature rate is required to be accounted for in all navigation applications.
No, it
Well, we
doesn't.
have observations that go further than that. Dude.
Sorry. Why are you balancing from? Remember, you said you're showing us measurement. Now you're trying to move to navigation that's not measurement.
Well, I'm supporting the measurement.
No, you haven't shown the measurement yet to go to your navigation yet. And by the way, the people that came up with celestial navigation were flat earthers, the Phoenicians.
I'm not talking about celestial navigation. I'm talking
Which
about
navigation are you using?
I'm talking about merely inertial navigation.
Inertial navigation. So INS.
Mhm.
Yeah, great. So flat earth then.
Principles of
Well
INS.
done.
Are you familiar
You
with the
just did
principles
INS.
of INS?
Inertial reference.
Yeah, we are, dude. Don't worry, we got you covered.
Can you
Okay,
bring
cool.
us?
So
Can you
describe to me
bring?
the
Can you
process
bring us?
of-
Can you bring me any data of the planes of the INS systems that shows it accounted for curve, please?
Absolutely. Are
Okay.
you familiar with the Schuler oscillations?
Bring me the data, please.
Sorry,
I
guys,
want to
gotta
see the
go.
pitch data.
There's Jeff.
You know, there is no such thing as pitch data for correcting for curve.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you familiar with? We have to talk through the basics, though. Are you familiar with Schuler oscillations?
Go, explain.
So between any 2 points, if the Earth were flat, what would be true of the measured plumb lines between those 2 points?
They'll always be no normal vertical. Same vertical.
They would all be parallel, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what is the implication if it is required to make adjustments between those two plumb lines as you move over the Earth's surface in inertial navigation?
You'll have to have a different zenith.
How would that work if the Earth were flat?
You first have to provide the evidence for it.
You got it.
Sure.
You're the one making the claim, so show it changing zenith.
What evidence will you accept?
The data. Show the data. We can go through it.
Okay, let's find some. Let's see.
Because you do know to use the INS system, they first do the reference on the runway.
And how is that done? What is one of the seven?
They get
ways
it up
to
spinning.
calculate
They get it spinning on the runway to get it on.
heading? What is the one of the 7 ways to calculate heading?
We're not talking about calculation. We're talking about data.
No, we're talking. You're saying the initial heading. The initial heading is calculated, or are you saying?
No, we're talking about pitch data. Heading is not pitch data.
Well, we're talking about heading.
You're totally on another ballpark here. I'm asking you for the pitch data that claims it's doing for the curve. Heading is the pitch data, man.
You're making a claim now. You're making an affirmative claim.
No, you made a claim, and you said you're going to present the pitch data, so please present the pitch data.
You made an affirmative claim about the nature of what
No,
happened.
you made everybody here. Did he make an affirmative claim that he's got the data, the pitch data, or not?
Yes, he did. He made it sound that way.
So can you please present us? I just want you to present the data for this pitch accounting for curves so we can look through it, please. This is the same issue Bob the Science guy had with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same issue Wolfie has. The same issue all the globe pilots have. There is no such thing as pitch data.
We've got some though, don't we?
I'm pretty sure that there is though.
No, show me.
Good luck with that one, dude.
We're flying. We're flying.
It was up this
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, someone sent me something. Let's see. So, I mean, what's the claim then? That in all of these manuals, where they're describing how this.
I don't
process
need a
is
manual. I need the data, the pitch data. I don't
You
care
need
about a
specific-
manual. My specific play in my specific beef here is you claimed there is pitch data for your curve. You said
Well,
the
if we
INS
pull-
system
if
shows
we
pitch
pull
data.
if we pull the angular torque rate used to correct for the Schuler oscillations, then absolutely we will have that.
So he's invoking gravity right away. That's what you're doing.
I'm invoking an acceleration.
He's evoking the correction for he's evoking for the correction of oscillation and then assuming it's due to the Earth being a sphere.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
In the meantime, we're still waiting for pitch data, which he said he would present to us.
Looks like let's see.
Anyway, you guys want to take over for 5 minutes? I'll be back now.
No.
Oh man,
Sounds like there's not much to say now.
we're still waiting for the data.
I feel like singing. Why are we waiting?
Go ahead, Vicky.
I can't sing.
She can't sing. She can't.
I really can't sing.
And PJ's got a golden voice. I know that.
Mine's beautiful. It's lovely.
How about, we can always sing yesterday. Everybody can sing yesterday. Yesterday.
A horse is a horse, a horse is a horse, and no one can talk to a horse. Of course, that is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the message that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed. Are you ready?
Hey, I'm back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do parties, bar mitzvahs, and weddings.
All right.
How much do you charge?
The wedding singer.
Let's see how big this is, though.
But I have to give it up to you guys. Thank you for coming present, because usually the people are too scared.
Yeah. No, it's fun, man. I mean, we talk about it, right?
So how did you guys get into this whole flat Earth arena talk thing?
I fell into it 2 months ago. I had some random video from one of the, our favorite paid NASA shills showed up on YouTube. Our globe Earth
Nice.
priest. And I said, that's a cool globe Earth priest.
paid
So
NASA
I
shield.
started looking into it.
Priests, are they?
That's amazing. Everybody has the different stories how they get into this whole thing.
Yeah. And
2
then I
months.
said, well,
Wow.
maybe I'll become a globe Earth priest. So
You're
here
still kind of wet behind the ears, aren't
well, I'm
Taking it
sure.
up proudly.
you? I'm kidding. It's all right. It doesn't require a lot of intelligence to figure out where you're at.
Yeah, that's true.
It might be difficult, but it definitely doesn't require.
I
a lot of-
agree with Jeff. I like this debate. It's nice and calm, respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amen. Thank you.
I'm trying to find your data for you. I don't actually have the data
Yeah,
available.
we've been looking for it for a lot of years, bro.
Let
You
me
only
put it
been
this
around
way:
6 months.
since I've looked into the flat Earth, I've never got data for it.
You've never got data
in-
for a particular adjustment.
Can I demonstrate something real quick? I don't have the data.
Yeah.
I know Sea Lion's looking for it. Here's a conceptual diagram of a gyroscope for an airplane.
Conceptual. Very nice.
And it shows the specific mechanism at the bottom of the instrument that is used
the
to
Venn
continuously
veins.
correct. It
But you see,
corrects
that's
for the
because, yeah,
fact.
but it does. The Pinterest vein is just correcting the oscillation. In other words, everything has torque. Because of the torque, it has vectoring, so it moves out of whack. So it has to correct it back to its orientation. It's like when you take a bicycle tire and you spin it, and you try and force it out of its rigid space. It needs to correct. That's what the Pinterest veins are doing.
Yes, but the whole point of a gyro is once it's spinning, it's maintaining rigidity in space. So it's
Yes.
actually, I can set it to my horizontal, right, which is perpendicular to the vertical. And if I were moving over flat Earth, nothing would be changing.
No,
But because I'm
not
moving
true.
over a curved Earth,
Plane. Remember, you're flying a plane.
the gyro,
Your plane-
yes, I am.
Your plane is
Mhm.
flying at different angles. It's doing banks, it's doing pitches. So it will try and force it out of its
Yes,
rigid
but
plane.
when it's not doing any of that, that's actually when that mechanism kicks in. Because it
No,
needs to make
it's
sure that the
working
gyro
constantly.
resets to the vertical as the vertical diverges from the original vertical, let's call it that.
Do you know why they set this on the runway?
What do you mean by set it? Because I think we have a
They
misconception.
get it spinning up on the runway.
Collaborate it from the runway,
They're
don't they?
calibrating it actually on the runway. They're getting it spinning
And
on the
part of
runway.
that
So,
is
so you have your
that-
true horizon. So you have your true vertical, your true horizontal. So that's your reference to always from flight to landing.
No,
now,
that's not.
what is? Yes, it is.
No, it's
Your
not.
the
True
HUD reference. Your HUD reference works on that reference from when they spin it on the runway. It gives the reference for true horizontal, the true horizon.
The platform of the INS system needs to adjust its vertical reference as it moves over the surface of the Earth.
Based on the horizontal datum you set at the runway.
No.
Yes.
No, it's based on.
It doesn't
Yes.
really matter.
It
It's
does
made
matter
based
because
on
you're setting it all over a horizontal plane. Then you're moving in 3D space over that horizontal plane, and you're expecting those movements not to try
Sure,
force.
but
gyros
once you
out of
establish
its rigid
level
plane.
flight, if the
2 to
Earth
3
would
degrees,
fly,
yeah.
if all the verticals were parallel, then you would not need to adjust the gyro. But if
Remember,
the
the
verticals
plane-
are
the
not
plane sits-
parallel,
Remember, the plane sits on a runway like this, and then when it takes
Okay.
off, it goes at a
Yes.
steep angle, and then it levels out
And-
at about 2 to 3 degrees. You're still doing
Yes.
banks and turns, going up, you're going down, you're in
Yes.
different pressures.
yes. Can you establish level flight at the same altitude?
The level flight
The
is
same pressure.
established. Remember, that level flight is established directly from the set datum at the runway, that true horizon, horizontal.
May
That's
it be,
why. That's
may
why
it
you
be
know.
so.
That's why
May
you
it
have
be
your
so.
heading. That's why you have your heading and your pitch angle based on that reference set on the runway.
So what happens if you travel 100 miles in a level flight?
Yeah. Okay. 2 to 3 degrees. Yeah.
Are the verticals still parallel at 0 miles and 100 miles?
Stays the same right through.
Why is the gyro processing then?
Oscillation, torque.
Caused by what?
The whole point of the
Everything
yeah,
Remember, everything loses. Remember, they have to constantly keep pushing in power to keep the power going. You got the first law of thermodynamics to contend with, and
How is
second,
that relevant?
so
it
but
loses
this
energy.
processes
They have
this
to keep.
procession
They
like
keep on having
builds up over distance.
Precision is the transference of that energy. So they need to carry on pushing it and fixing it back to its original reference, and that's why it keeps doing that. The original reference isn't going out because it's not going out because of curve. It's because it's losing and it has momentum. It has oscillation. It's mechanical. What you got on screen now is mechanical.
Yeah, but you're misunderstanding the effect, because the
No,
effect
no.
is calculated. You realize that the Schuler oscillations are calculated specifically based on the
latitude.
radius value. No, not based on latitude. That's
Yeah,
incorrect.
it's
No.
based on a coordinate system.
Nope, that's incorrect. That is incorrect, sir. You don't know what you're talking about.
We're still waiting for your pitch data. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
but
$5 super chat.
you.
Go to
However,
NTSTV
you're demonstrating.
search net data, pitch data, download it for free. Cheers. Thank you, Master Easton. Let's check. See if we can quickly get it.
You know, it's in show.
Well, I know.
You're demonstrating, though, a fundamental misunderstanding of the principles of inertial navigation.
Demonstrating rudeness.
Because it's not based on latitude. It's only based on the angular torque rate, which is a measured acceleration. By definition, inertial navigation systems require no external reference. Therefore, it could not be latitude dependent. The fact that you think that it's latitude dependent indicates that you don't understand the basic principles.
I didn't say it is. I said it is based. That's how you know your latitude and longitudes.
No, that's you
That's
go
how the
off.
INS works.
You go-
INS
you-
works because you're accelerating and you're moving in a certain. So it needs to know based on that.
It goes off of your
know
initial
latitude
heading.
and longitude,
It goes off of your initial heading and your initial position.
which is a coordinate system, is it not?
The missile knows where it is by knowing where it isn't.
Based
So
on a
you're-
coordinate system.
Yeah, but you're misunderstanding.
It has its starting point and then it has a heading point. To have
the
to know how
adjustments-
far and where it is, those adjustments are based on a coordinate system.
The Schuler is not based on latitude.
Yes, I'm saying the oscillations are independent, but it's based on the data from your starting point.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
based
it
on
is.
the local plumb. No, it's not. I can provide you
The
sources.
local
to the
plumb is
contrary.
set on the runway. Remember, I told you that the local plumb is already
that's
set
not
on the
the case.
runway.
No, that's not the case. You're reifying your model now. You're assuming.
I'm not.
that all plumb-
Can you
Yes,
show me
are.
an airplane that doesn't set their? Show me any pilot that doesn't first let their INS system start running on a runway, please.
Yes, so we can. The same principles apply in autonomous underwater vehicles that are operating
We're
at
talking about
sea.
airplanes, not submarines. We're talking about airplanes.
It's the same principles exactly.
No,
So
it's
you don't
not.
want to talk about submarines. You don't want
No,
to
it's a
talk about
non sequitur. We're talking about the
it's not a
INS systems in an airplane right now. In the
INS,
sky.
the same principles apply in all INS systems.
Different mediums, different effects, different medium, different effects. I would no.
You have a
Anyway, thank you,
script
Tony
based
Whitcomb,
on
for your £5
superficial
super chat. He
facts.
says you can't reference a vertical on a plane as it has no reference to anything, especially not the sky.
No,
That is
that's
so true.
absolutely not true. That's
Thank you very
absolutely not true because you have
That
a
is true.
measurable acceleration. You don't know what you're talking about. There's a
You
local
have to have a starting point. If you don't have a starting point, you
No,
won't get there.
The starting point is only used to calculate your position relative to that starting point. You know where you are because you know where you were and you know where you aren't.
So you said I was wrong, and I was saying exactly what I said. Well done. Just in different
That's
words.
not what I said. That's not what I
Yeah.
said because we're talking specifically about the Schuler oscillations, and you're making a false claim that those are dependent on latitude. They're not.
No, I never said that.
The measure
I
gives
said
you
the INS system works on a grid system. The Schuler is based on how it's oscillated off its apparent starting reference.
It's not based on the starting reference.
It is. They
it's
get the INS system started on the runway, so they have its true vertical and true horizontal.
No,
When
that's
you're
only
flying,
established.
the
That's only
oscillations
established
is what they're correcting for based on that.
There's no such thing as a true vertical and true horizontal.
There is.
Optics. No, there isn't.
There is.
So you're completely misunderstanding how this works.
So you're saying there's
So
no
what's
such thing as a true plumb at all. So when you stand in
there's
zenith,
a local
that's not a
plumb
true.
line
That's not a true
determined by
vertical.
the local acceleration, which is measured on a gyro stabilized platform in the INS. What's done on the runway is the calculation of heading. And it's telling that you don't know the 7 ways to calculate heading, which is a basic principle of navigation.
Your dead
So-
reckoning you're literally saying I don't understand when you say what I say. Dead
No, I'm not.
reckoning, the dead reckoning to go where you are comes from an initial starting point. Without that initial starting point, you can't get anywhere.
The initial starting point is determined by a separate system currently. What happens is you have a heading and you have your initial coordinates. Do you know that when you park up to the runway, those coordinates are listed on the actual, right by where the
coordinate system I was talking about. Well done.
Well, yeah, but that's the initial starting point.
So I was not wrong then.
As you move, the problem is that as you move, that coordinate system doesn't tell you local plumb. That's not.
No, it gives you a heading.
No, it doesn't. The heading.
Yes, it tells you your dead reckoning. What's up, Dave? How's it going?
The rotation of the Earth. That's the way it works. That's the way a gyro compass works.
A gyro compass works on precession. It literally just works on spinning.
It works on the rotation.
One, the only. Stop. What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
That's a nice map behind you. Is that the Mount Meru one?
Oh, this is a Mercator. This is the Mercator.
No, that's the
polar
one.
map.
I forget, 1685 or something. I forgot.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see if there's a date on this thing.
Here's the thing, though. What I'm saying is, if you don't apply Schuler oscillations, which are latitude independent and are only based on local plumb and the deviation due to the angular torque rate produced by the deviation between plumb lines as a function of the radius of the Earth, you will have a bias.
I have to stop you there. Not between two plumb lines based on radius. That's false.
Nope, that's absolutely true. Let me show you.
Show me where it says that, please.
Absolutely. I'll show you right now. I have a screen sharing privilege, right?
Know-it-alls that don't actually know it all.
No, I do. I do actually. I have done.
What exactly? What are we? I'm sorry. I'm late. What's the?
He says planes fly over a curve. I asked for pitch data. They can't present it to us. Now he's saying the INS system works off of curve.
It does. Here's two examples.
It doesn't. After he repeated what I said different ways 5 times already.
The ILS system works off curvature.
INS
system. Yeah. Correct. And here's two
initial
references
reference
that. So let's talk about a few details. So you're familiar with the gimbal stabilized platform?
No, you said something very specific. So I want to say where it says that. It says using curve.
So the accelerometers are in those 3 axes. For the sake of simplicity, let's consider flight at the equator. We have those 3 gyros that are in the pitch, roll, and yaw axes. Here are 2 sources that provide, and I have the specific references on my server, that show exactly how this works. The angular torque rate is equal to the
troll alert.
I know.
Oh, that's not me. That's the troll. Is there?
No, he's been in for ages. He's been in for ages.
Hey, Sea Lion,
You know who's in
can
here.
you share just the part of your screen that?
Yeah. Can you? It's because.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're trying to see.
I'm a noob.
This is a Roger Little. Thank you for $2. It says you're using proposed zenith and no height. Yep.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The thing is, what you were presenting there is, they claim it's correcting for curve because it corrects for its oscillation. Okay.
Yeah, but my point is the oscillation is not random.
No, it's not random. It's
okay. So you agree that it's a bias. It's not a variance.
It's got to have oscillation because it's moving parts.
Okay, but do you understand the difference between bias and variance? No doubt you do. You seem very technical.
Go on. I'm still waiting for you to show where it's saying it's accounting for curve.
Right here, but we need to understand the difference between bias and variance first. Bias are any of you shooters? Do you shoot firearms. So if you're shooting at a target, bias would be I'm shooting too far left, I'm shooting too far right, I'm shooting too far up. Variance would be your MOA, your spread. Okay?
Mhm.
So the reason that that's important is the Schuler oscillations are a bias. It is a consistent factor that can be calculated time and time again in all inertial navigation systems, in systems as simple as a single pendulum that all it does is vertical indication. And if you look here, this is exactly how it's done. I have 2 sources to the effect right here. I can provide you with 5 or 6 more sources I have on my server. This is the acceleration that determines the local plumb line. As we move the platform, the vertical reference changes due to this angular rate delta. And that gives us a deviation from the acceleration that would be measured if we had a fixed vertical reference.
So this deviation is based on acceleration?
It is based on acceleration, yes.
So not Earth curve then?
No, it is based on Earth curve, and I'll show you exactly
No,
why.
you just said acceleration.
No, I said acceleration. The deviance in acceleration is here shown to be.
Okay. Let me put it this way. If a plane, let me try and make it simpler for you. If a plane flies, let's say 700 miles an hour, will the deviation be different than the plane flying 600 miles an hour? It'll take longer to deviate for the slower plane.
If a plane flies with a constant speed, there is no acceleration.
Correct.
He's showing acceleration.
Acceleration, yeah.
Towards the center.
Yeah. Okay,
Explain
so
what the
it carries
acceleration
on. So then,
how
is it? Because he said acceleration changes it.
Yes.
So if a plane's flying constant, why is it changing then?
Because of the precisely because the vertical reference is changing, because plumb lines are not parallel.
No, the vertical's not.
Yes.
No, the vertical stays the same. Remember, we said it's got oscillation.
No, it doesn't.
You know what oscillation is?
I do know what. Don't tell me I don't know what an oscillation is. I'm a professional mathematician.
He asked. He didn't tell you he didn't know. He asked if you knew.
I know what an oscillation is. The oscillation.
Hey, have some respect for the professional guys. Come on now.
Yeah, please. I might be wet behind the ears as a glober, but
no, you're just rude.
Okay, so the oscillation is what causes its deviation.
No, the oscillation is what's calculated based on this idea of a pendulum, and that is the model that we use to apply. And that oscillation.
So it's not curved then.
No, it is curved. Absolutely.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's calculable as curved.
No, so calculating something into existence doesn't make it actual.
Okay, well, you can
just
say
like
that.
gravity. It's the same as gravity. Wait. This is exactly the same as gravity. You guys make a measurement. Look, I can calculate. I can measure 9.8 meters per second. Great, that's your average measured. What's the cause? Gravity. Okay, prove it. No, it's gravity.
Do you accept that an accelerometer will measure an acceleration? I don't actually need. We don't have to assume anything.
So it's not gravity. You're making an assumption that it is gravity. Just like this, it's not curved. You're making an assumption that it's curved.
What do you call G in your world?
Sorry?
What do you call G in your world? When I drop an object, what is G?
There is no G.
There's no G?
We just call it relative density disequilibrium.
Oh, okay. So, but I don't want to get too far off topic of gravity because.
But G-forces is just the colloquial term used so you know, like 1G or whatever. But
do things accelerate towards the ground?
You have to understand, Sea Lion. That all of this nonsense revolves around that magical duct tape that is called gravity, right? The magic duct tape called gravity. It seems to be the answer to everything. If it's not that, then it's refraction.
Sovereign, I love you. No homo. But the fact that you have those duct tape props, I love you. Thank you.
Well, it is. It absolutely is. And yet people want to take, we can see, look, we've measured the gravitational constant. That sounds so, scientific. What does it mean? We measured, we calculated how fast it takes for shit to drop. That's it. And
Well,
they
that's all we
assume,
need.
That's all we need.
they
That's all
assume
we need.
that it's something
I don't care what
that
causes
it's this
gravity.
myth.
I'm not a
that it-
physicist.
But
just a
let me
math-
That's
just,
all we
I'm
need.
just giving you a brief synopsis.
Okay, sorry.
That even that curvature that you're speaking of relies on this assumption of an observed effect of things falling. Okay, that's basically what this whole thing ties it all together. And when you say, well, where do you get this? Well, mass attracts mass. Well, I've never seen a bigger myth perpetrated on people in anything. They just say this. No one has ever observed masses attracting one another. No one has ever seen that.
Okay,
in
but I'm
nature.
not really interested in that. I'm just interested in the ability to establish a plumb. That's all this is doing.
Mhm.
Plumb
Well,
was already
it's almost
established.
perpendicular.
Well,
I've
no,
been
No,
a
but
builder.
the thing is,
and
plumb
all
was
of
already
the shooters.
established. Whoa. Remember, the INS system already works on its reference. It already has its original plumb. That's what I told you. It's got original vertical and horizontal. So it's trying to correct to go back to its orientation in 3D space.
Well,
it doesn't
it's
mean
trying
go.
to go back to So it has an initial one, but you're saying that that's sort of an absolute frame. That's not really.
That's its reference from takeoff. It needs that reference, or it won't know where it is.
Well, that's the whole point of this system. Is without
to know you're in 3D space based on your initial starting point. So you have your heading. So you know you're not flying upside down or something.
Well, how do we do vertical indication?
What do you mean vertical indication?
Well, that's a very simple principle in inertial navigation. We need a measurement of vertical. So
which comes from the runway.
So, but your claim is that is just simply maintained the entire flight.
No, it's to give the data to know your orientation, your true orientation.
How is the bias?
This is because this is the same thing when you guys on the runway and you see they give that true horizon on the HUD.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you're flying up, the true horizon is lower because it was literally at an angle and lower on the ground. So that reference to true is lower. That's how they get their 2 to 3 degrees elevation.
Okay, but how do you,
if they don't have that reference, they won't know they're flying level. If they don't have that vertical, they won't know they're flying level, because remember, it takes two lines to make an angle. So they need the proper vertical, they need the proper horizontal to give that reference.
So I think you're confusing a few things here, and I just want to be clear about this. So when we talk about the inertial navigation system, is your claim that is how the artificial horizon is maintained?
No, that's how it's referenced.
The artificial horizon is referenced in what sense?
The true horizon on the HUD.
So the true horizon is calculated by the inertial navigation system?
Measured, not calculated. So when you're on the runway and you get the INS set up, it gives your true horizon heading.
Measured? How?
It's a horizontal datum.
It's a horizontal
datum. It's a plane. It's a look at it as a plane.
Optically, physically?
It sets a plane. No, it sets a plane. It sets a 3G a rigid plane horizontally. It's not funny, Peter. That's the truth. It sets a rigid plane vertically, and it sets a rigid plane horizontally.
How?
It's an gyro.
It's a gyro. Okay.
That's the gyros. That's the whole gyros.
Gyros are measurements in your world? First order measurements?
There we go. There you go. It's physical, is it not?
So is that a first order measurement?
I would say yes.
Okay, so show me right now, move the gyro across the room and produce a first order measurement.
It tries to correct itself back to its rigid plane. So therefore it's a
and therefore
measurement.
Unless you can demonstrate it as a first order measurement, it will demonstrably be true as a calculation, will it not?
How can be calculation? It's trying to force itself physically back to its starting spin. Let's first keep it mechanical. If you spin a mechanical gyro, okay, just like a car tire, you spin it. In that orientation you spun it, that's where it wants to stay. So if you try and force it out of it, it corrects itself physically back to that point.
And so how would you measure its deflection from its original position?
That is a calculation. Angles are based on
okay.
calculation.
So it is a calculation then.
But the measurement is the set reference.
Is it? So how do you measure that set reference?
By
On the
spinning it up.
So that doesn't answer my question.
It does. It creates a rigid plane in space. So it tries to keep that rigid plane in space constantly. Therefore, that is its set baseline.
So go ahead. You have a physical gyro. Your friend with the Mercator has a little toy. It's a really cool observation. Again, I love this guy. He's got all the props. It's really great for the audience. Show me how you do that. Measure it for me without doing a calculation.
It's a zero. It's a measure of zero, literally horizontal.
Zero? Okay, let's see.
Got an airplane and a globe here.
We should make it for.
Are you doing Bob the Science Guy
decorative
there?
Purposes.
Doing Bob the Science Guy here.
Let's just say Jeff Conkle, thank you for $10 which says, do they know about the pilot that crashed trying to account for Earth curve? Yeah, that was quite funny. That was very funny.
I have that.
Yeah, I think he flew a Cessna and then he crashed it into the ground trying to account for curve.
What's it you want me to do with this gyro? Hang on a minute here.
I want you to measure exactly what you were talking about without doing any calculations.
Simple. Zero is a measure.
What? It's not going to. What do you think? If you're trying to turn this while it's spinning, it's going to want to stay. It's going to want to stay like horizontal. It's
So, when you spin it like that, does it have a set 90 and a set 0 degree?
Yes.
So that's a measure.
On one gyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if I turn it this way, it'll do the same. It'll do the. You got one for vertical reference as well.
Remember, the gyro works on the left-hand rule. So the torque is applied. It's going to change. It's going to transfer that energy on its right hand.
My boy.
I almost screwed myself up one time on a motorcycle. I was jumping over a hill, and while I was in the air, the bike tilted a little bit, and I revved the motor while I was in the air, and it spun that tire a little bit more, and it tried to turn me completely sideways. Like that, I had to back off and hit the brakes and kind of force my weight over the other way so that I didn't land on my side.
Hey, Bacon's in the house. What's up, Bacon?
Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, we're still going on.
These things are such a pain in the ass to load, though. You know, get this little string.
So have we established yet that the curve's not physical yet?
No, I don't think so.
Are we gonna say we agree to disagree?
I would not say so, but I might take that. I might take that at the moment. It might be a little, because it seems like what you need is me doing datum or a measurement of this.
Yeah, because there should be data. There should be pitch data for this.
We've agreed that gyros would produce such a measurement.
Yeah, based on its physics, how it works. Transport energy.
So that gives me a perfect way to provide a measurement.
Even the dog agrees with us.
Yeah, but you take those measurements and you calculate it into your assumption of a globe. That doesn't make it a globe. It doesn't make it a curve.
I won't have to. I won't have to. I'm going to get the angular rate measured from the gyro, and I'm going to draw out those measurements, and I'm going to get the curvature rate.
Now, wait a second. You do know that rate is going to change with altitude, right?
No, the angle won't.
Wait a minute.
It should.
It's going to be a bigger. It's going to be a bigger radius the higher you go. That's a problem.
Tangential velocity.
Even by the foot. You are changing the radius.
Is that going to be reflected in the gyroscope?
Well, wait a second. How does that gyroscope know if it's at 35,000 feet or at 20,000 feet? There's a difference.
Will that be affected in the gyroscope? Yes or no?
The gyroscope's not affected by curvature. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but I'm saying it is affected by curvature.
Well, how? That means that it would be affected differently at every altitude.
Through the Schuller oscillation. No, you're misunderstanding the conservation of angular momentum.
You're misunderstanding the fact that a bigger circle has a larger radius.
Yeah, and do you
And
know how
that means that
complicated
every
that
time you increase the diameter of that circle, that you change that radius gets bigger. Every
Have you ever seen an ice
centimeter.
skater? Have you ever seen an ice skater opening their arms to change their
Can I
radius?
ask a question?
Yeah, go for it, Bacon.
Wait, isn't the reading of the gyroscope relative to the angular velocity, not the tangential velocity? Because if we just make a bigger radius, we are not changing the angular velocity, just the tangential velocity, which might not be
Congratulations.
relevant.
Thank you, Jeff Conker, for being a member 15 months. He says, sorry, Globies, the Earth is flat.
Checkmate, Globies. He's 15 months in. He's got 13 months more than me. I think 15 is bigger than 2.
That's it. And
You're
in
getting there,
gematria.
Sea Lion. You're getting there.
And I also
Give it
have
some time.
no props, and you have 4 props. And I believe 4 is also bigger than 0. Therefore, you also win on that account.
I have like all the props, dude.
No, I love it.
Okay,
man.
so
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
I
I
ask
mean, his wife even made him a gravity pocket. That's awesome. Thank you, Ms.
can I ask a
Marquindi.
question?
That's right.
She says, keep smashing it, Keith. No, you smashing. Thank you very much. You guys rock. By the way, guys, everyone in chat, please just hit the likes.
My
Share the
gravity
show.
pocket.
Really, really do appreciate. I mean, we got like 100 people and only 38 likes. The math doesn't add up. What's going on?
No.
Is that pocket full yet, Dave? Did you finally fill that up yet?
And see, there's my big G is in there.
Yeah.
This is my gravity pocket.
That's
So what are your guys' thoughts on gravity, though? Why do you guys believe gravity to be real?
I love
I love gravity.
gravity. Can
This
I
is
can I
Peter's
feel
spiel.
this one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hand off. He's
Well, help me out. Help me out, Sea Lion.
Yeah.
I'm presenting the losing position, obviously.
Yeah.
So I need help.
Yeah.
Gravity. I mean,
It
things
has never
fall,
been
right?
scientific.
Things accelerate.
Yeah, things fall, but the point is the cause. The claim what you guys are claiming is the cause has never been validated. It's never been scientifically hypothesized, experimented, or validated. It's just been claimed as fact.
There are many hypotheses regarding the cause for gravity, but none of them are solid. Usually I explain this with an analogy, okay? So our static force exists, electrostatic interactions.
Oh, yeah.
What is their cause?
Well, the model says electrons moving, so.
But what's the cause of that? What's the cause of the electric charge? Why do things
the current model, you see, that's the thing. The current model just makes a prediction based on the electrons and the neurons moving, but that doesn't make it actual. Just like the gravity model, you guys don't know the cause, you just make a claim. So you can't claim it's gravity.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So we truly do not know why particles have electric charge. We just know that they have, and we measure it, and we have different models. but if you ask, the top physicists, what is the cause for electric charge being a thing, being a property of particles? They have no idea. The only thing they know is they measure them. Even the number, the value of the charge of an electron is not from the theoretical model. It's a measured, experimentally measured value. Yeah. So gravity is the same. We don't know what the cause is.
Actually,
all we know. Wait, 1 second. We have measured, and we have concluded that there's an absolutely strong correlation between a mass of an object and the gravitational forces. That's all we know. We don't know why it produces that effect. So it's equivalent to electric charge. Mass is equivalent to electric charge.
Okay,
here's the problem you run into it. They claim that the air around us is a mass.
Yeah, but I just want to quickly read the 2 super chats that we'll get there because I got a point on that as well. Roger Little, thank you for $2 super chat. Says still he has done everything but provide. Isn't that usual? Thank you very much. And then Sea Lion, thank you for your $10, man. It says buy a gyroscope. I'd love to.
There's the guy that I got the video of the guy that crashed adjusting for curvature.
Oh yeah. Let's quickly put that up. While he's doing that, I just want to give a point on that what's name quickly there that he just made.
Is there a video of a guy who crashed because he forgot about gravity?
No, he's tried to account for the curvature. Watch.
Well. A pilot who thinks the Earth is a globe crashes attempting to account for Earth's curvature. So what he was attempting to do was dip his nose to prove that the Earth is a ball. But instead of this happening, he went straight into the ground and crashed, proving that the Earth is in fact not a globe. You see, the map that pilots go by is the new standard map of the world. This is the flat Earth map with Antarctica going around it. You see, even when NASA flies aircrafts, they account for curvature. This is from NASA.gov, derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model.
Pants on fire! Pants on fire! Let's go. We gotta pull up that paper now.
Over a flat
Here we go.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
So by him trying to prove that the Earth is a globe, he actually went against the protocol. And this just goes
Pull it up.
This is how
we gotta do it now. We went there.
Okay. Jeff Conkle, thank you for your $5 super chat. He says, ask him if little g a constant, and if so, how come we have terminal velocity on something that is constantly accelerating?
The little g
Friction.
is absolutely not
Yeah, that's a good
constant.
question.
Little g is just an average value of acceleration that we observe on Earth. As we move away from the Earth, the value of the acceleration drops. So it's not a constant in any way.
Yeah, it's just an average. But
It's a certain average.
Yeah, but the point I wanted to make, remember when you just said, so we don't know the cause, we just observe things. But don't you think it's wrong to claim, okay, we observe things accelerating to the ground, so therefore there is a sphere and everything is just going to the center of mass?
Of course, that on its own would just be not on its own an immediate conclusion that the only you can deduct from the behavior of gravity that we observe what it's that interact with one another. They will move toward the common center. You can mathematically very easily show this, but on its own, it's not some kind of ultimate proof of the globe, because that's why the Earth remains flat, even though gravity is a thing. You could invoke some kind of supernatural force that keeps the Earth rigid in some way. Like, who knows? On its own, it's not the final proof at all.
Well, let's put it this way. If you're claiming gravity to be the cause, would you not be able to manipulate it?
Can you manipulate electric?
Yes.
Yes. You can give it electric
You can
charge.
change.
Power
You can
input.
change.
You can make it stronger,
That's not
and you
what
can make it repulsive.
I meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Electron like neutrally charged.
You
can,
Dave,
right?
They using a Van de Graaff generator, you can actually literally reverse it.
You can add charge to an object, but you cannot
can
change
reverse. You can reverse the whole effect.
Okay.
The way the whole thing works.
Can you?
Let me bring up.
Turn off electrostatics.
Hang on. No, you can't. No.
Okay.
You
well, you cannot manipulate gravity
But
either.
you can manipulate electrostatics. That's the point. Gravity you can't manipulate. So how do you know that's the cause?
Yeah. If you're
how do you manipulate gravity?
Let me explain. If your analogy is by adding electric charge to an object, you can force that it generates. Then you can, in that sense, you can manipulate gravity by adding mass to a location.
Mass isn't gravity, though.
No, it's not electrostatics.
So that's not manipulation of gravity. That's my whole point. That's not manipulation of gravity. That's manipulation of mass.
So you just redefined what it means to manipulate. So how do you manipulate electrostatic force?
By changing the charge.
And you manipulate gravity by changing the mass.
This is based on the actual model for electric charge at the moment. But I'm just entertaining your non sequitur just to make a point. That
it's a sequitur.
Gravity cannot be manipulated. Sorry?
It's a sequitur. Okay.
Non sequitur.
I can add it's a yes sequitur. If I can add.
No, it's not. I didn't make the claim about electrons. I'm not even saying I ascribe to the model. I'm just saying how it works.
I'm not asking you.
The point is you claiming. No, let's just move back to gravity. Gravity, you claimed that it's scientific. Correct. You do agree gravity is scientific.
The understanding of it has been accomplished by following the scientific method, yes.
Okay, cool. So that means you have to have manipulated gravity to say it's the cause for something.
No, what I have to manipulate, no. To understand gravity a little bit more, I have to manipulate the property that I hypothesize is responsible for gravitational attraction.
The independent variable would be gravity.
Mass.
And the independent variable would be the observed phenomena.
So
Wait a
again,
minute.
through
Wait.
analogy,
So gravity is not the cause now, it's mass is the cause.
gravity is a phenomenon.
That's not how independent variables work.
Can you wait, Omnivore? Let me run with this. It doesn't
Independent
matter.
variable is the manipulated variable. That's what independent variable is.
Okay.
It's the
So through
variable that
analogy-
is manipulated to. No, it's not. The independent variable is the variable that is manipulated, so you are able to see the observed cause.
Okay. Okay. Through analogy, if I want to learn about the electrostatic force, the independent variable I will be manipulating is the amount of electric charge in a given. If I want to understand gravity, then the independent variable I will be manipulating is the amount of mass in a given area. Then I can observe the effect,
But
and
mass
I
is
can
not
understand
gravity.
the
That's
correlation.
different. No. There's again a non sequitur. With electric force,
It's a sequitur.
it's the movements. It's the movements of the nuclei and the electrons and stuff. Okay. So if you're speeding up them, you're physically manipulating the movement. Okay, to give that cause, to show the cause.
Movement?
Yes.
This does not involve any particular movement. It's static. The word static in the name is the giveaway. So adding more charge.
Yeah, but it's the
we don't
movement
care-
of the negatives of the electrons and the isn't it?
That's magnetism.
But
Singular-
hey,
singular-
I'm getting confused.
wait!
But
Don't
anyway.
nerds. Please don't chime in right now. Okay, I'm doing this my way. So here's the thing. We don't have to understand electrons, atoms, or anything. It suffices to know that there's a property called electric charge that's measurable. Manipulating that by adding more of it or subtracting it, whichever way you want to call it, we observe a correlation. Adding more charge creates a, let's say, between two objects. It is exactly the same thing we do when we add more mass to an area and we see a stronger attraction.
Okay,
it's
but I was
exactly the same principle.
I was looking through the static electricity. I was right, yeah, because you are moving the charges. You're moving the negative electrons on one side. You're moving the positive to the other side. So they're moving. You're physically manipulating the movement.
I'm changing their location from being over here
So you are
to
the
being
movement.
over
So
here.
So you're moving.
But after
you're
that, they're
physically
not
manipulating it. Now, when it comes to gravity, you're not physically manipulating gravity.
Not gravity. I'm manipulating mass.
So then it's not gravity as the cause. Then
gravity is.
You have to manipulate the
observed
independent
phenomena.
variable, and the independent
Yes.
variable, if you're claiming
mass.
gravity is the cause, then gravity has to be the thing manipulated, not
I
the
don't
mass.
know the cause.
So
I know the
so we can
relationship
agree
between
then.
a
We can
physical.
agree then we can agree there is no such thing as validated gravity.
There is a thing called the amount of the amount measurable property influences the amount of acceleration present, also a measured property. We
but
call
that's not
this
gravity,
relationship gravity. That's what
No,
we
that's
call
not
it.
gravity.
That's
Yeah,
we
but you
use the
can't
word
call
gravity.
it something. You can't call it something
What
if
would
you
you
don't
like
know
me
what
to
it
call
is.
it?
Acceleration.
What would you like me to call it? Mass. Let's call it that.
Great.
Acceleration can be due to other things, but in this case, it's acceleration due to amount of mass present. Gravity, folks. Let's use it going forward.
Yeah, but now I'm saying, but you see how this takes away your claim for gravity, because you need gravity to work in a certain way for your
Words.
globe to contract.
I just surrendered
No.
the word gravity to you, and I'm claiming that there's acceleration due to mass.
But do you believe that it is gravity? That's my point.
I believe it's acceleration due to mass.
Okay, cool. And you believe that because of this, it creates a sphere.
it would create a sphere.
You see, and that's what you guys are claiming gravity. There's no proof for this. There's no
Acceleration
proof.
due to
There's
mass.
no proof that your acceleration due to mass causes spheres.
It causes things to accelerate towards the center of mass, common center of mass. Yes, it's mathematically proven many times.
Maths is not science. Maths is a language. You can use maths to describe an equation, but it's not a science.
That's the logical proof.
No, it's not.
It's a logical proof that it accelerates.
See, one thing. My point is there is no science for gravity.
Together, they will accelerate to the center of mass. You can logically show.
No, mathematically not observable.
You don't have to fight it, Flatzoid. It's not the have to
there
resist
is no,
it. It's just
no, there's no fighting. My point is, there is no such thing as scientific proof for gravity. There's no evidence gravity exists.
There's just generates acceleration.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I just got mass in my hand, is it generating acceleration?
No, I'm just no.
Yes, it is.
Exasperated.
Yes,
it is.
Accelerating. It's
is it not static in my hand
actually
right
attracting. Now? It's attracting your hand towards it in a very.
No, it's not. It's resting on my hand.
It is because the Earth is.
I'm observing that this phone is resting on my hand. There's no acceleration.
Why is it not flying away?
Can you show me acceleration here while I'm sitting?
Yes, it's pressing on your hand. It's accelerating towards the ground.
No. There's no acceleration here. Where's the acceleration?
Oh, can I say one thing?
Force acting on your hand.
Won't shut up, let you.
Do you feel the weight of the phone? Do you feel the weight?
It has mass.
Weight is acceleration.
Weight
is not acceleration.
It's mathematically
it's accelerating towards the ground. Let go. Remove your hand.
Is it?
Remove your hand.
Wait. What speed is it going?
Take your hands off.
It's the speed relative to the Earth is 0.
So it's not accelerating then.
Because your hand counters the accelerations with the same force that's acting on it.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm observing no magnitude, no vector at this moment.
Sure. So if I have an electrically
it's not
charged
accelerating,
object,
so you can't claim it is accelerating.
Let me explain. If I have an electrically charged object being attracted by another object, and I'm holding it, and it's not, is the force acting or not?
It's his show.
Tell him, Vicky. Tell him.
I think somebody's wife is yelling at them.
Every time he goes to talk, it's, oh, well, let me explain this. You never actually stop and let the bloke finish what he's saying because you're too busy thinking you're above all of us because you're a glober, that you can overtalk everybody. It's rude.
Well done. Well said.
Thank you very much, Jeremy Bird, for your $20 feature. He says, get them flats. I appreciate it, man. You're wrong. but like I'm saying,
can I go over this real quick?
Yeah. I just want to make my point, and you can clearly do that because that's a good point that you're making. I don't observe this accelerating. I can tell you it's resting on my hand. I can tell you this phone has density, it has weight. Perfect. But I can tell you for a fact it's not accelerating because it has no magnitude. So therefore, gravity is not a force attracting it to the center of Earth.
Could you do the same demonstration with electrostatics?
Yeah.
Could you hold an object?
I'm about to explain to you. I'm about to explain to you how it works. Okay? I want you just to look at the graphic that I've so thoughtfully created on the screen. Sean, I know you like paint. That's why I used it. Okay? So this upper surface being positively charged, this lower surface being a neutral. Okay? Now, the positive or the negative wants to pull everything to it. The positive wants to push everything away from it, right? So what happens is all the way around both sides of this, it wanting to do the pushing and the pulling, right? But what we end up with is we cancel out. Okay? Well, I don't want that. These right here, these two right here, cancel each other out. Boom. These two down here cancel each other out, leaving only this downward flow right here. This is now, if I reverse this and make this the positive on the bottom, and I put this to the negative, I can make objects go the other direction, regardless of their material. Styrofoam, wood, iron filings, what have you.
It's painful.
It's going to
Who's noisy
change.
there?
It really annoyed me.
So that's where that
For this
electrostatics aspect
presentation,
comes.
yes. Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
If
Yeah.
there's an electrically charged object that's being attracted by another if I hold on to it, will it be moving?
Will it what?
Will it be moving if I'm holding on to it?
No, of course not.
Okay. And if I let
Why
go of
would
it, what will happen?
Well, this is what I was getting at. This is what is setting the condition. This sets the direction. That's all. Okay. The
Okay,
rest
so
of it,
if I let go
it's
of
all
it,
point.
it
It's
will
all.
accelerate, yes?
Listen. Hold on. It's nothing more than its relative density to the medium. Okay.
Sure.
Everything is medium dependent. So to change the acceleration or the weight of the object, all I have to do is increase or decrease the medium's relative density to the object. Think of it
What
as a
Flatzoid
scale.
was doing, is that what he was doing when he had his phone on his hand?
Absolutely.
Was he changing
He
the
had
density
an
of the
unbalanced
phone?
force. He had given that phone energy.
Energy.
He loaded it
Okay.
by lifting it to a state of disequilibrium.
hmm So he was
Yeah, before we
countering the
carry on,
force
before we
acting
go, I
on
just
it,
want to quickly
yes?
read the two. Yeah, before we go, I just want to read the two
Weight-
super chats quickly.
weight
Thank
is
you,
a force.
Line Prime. Dude, he says KFC has good benefits for their mathematical staff. It's not much, but it's honest work. Thank you, man. That's actually good. And Roger Ledwell for his $2. He says, I have one word for bacon. Dome. See the little E. Thank you very much, Roger. You rock. Sorry, go on.
But the thing is that the weight is weight a force? Of course it is. It's calculated exactly the same way as a force is. And what is the weight? Weight is the relative density of an object. It's our quantification of the relative density of an object within a given medium. If I change the medium, I change the weight.
Yeah, that's why when you measure, like if you weigh an object in a vacuum, it weighs more
Yep.
than when you weigh it in an atmospheric condition.
So by increasing the density of a medium, for instance, let's go to another fluid, to a liquid, okay? We even more greatly decrease the weight of an object than it would be in the air because of the relative density to the denser fluid.
Is
Water,
it because of the buoyant
mercury,
force?
because of the displacement ratio.
Is it because of what we would call the buoyant force?
Well, you could call it a buoyant force, but buoyancy is only the ability to be lifted within the thing. Otherwise, the medium is either going to displace the object or the object will displace the medium.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the
And
day,
what's causing that? What's causing that?
Relative
pressure.
density disequilibrium.
Yeah, it's the displacement of the pressures.
Is this the equation for the buoyant force?
I'm glad you brought that up. Can I ask you something? This is based on Archimedes' principle, correct, Peter?
Yeah.
Yep. Archimedes.
Can you show us where how buoyancy worked, Archimedes' principle, 1,900 years before Newton was even born?
Yes, it didn't have this equation.
Great. And did ships work based on Archimedes' principle?
A million years before that, before humans.
So
existed.
because they put G in there, does that mean gravity is a thing? Or is it just a name they gave the displacement, the pressure?
We can replace the G with an A and demonstrate that buoyant force can occur in any direction if there is an acceleration. In a sense, that buoyant force manifesting itself when you accelerate the device in the horizontal plane. Nothing happens if it's not accelerating. The liquids, unless you accelerate the whole system, and the buoyant force will then manifest.
Yeah, but you understand liquids require energy for that to work.
Keyword system enclosed.
Acceleration for the buoyant force to manifest itself. Otherwise, the particles couldn't give a crap, and they're just going to be moving in random
No, only
directions.
thing that's required is weight. Is a weight ratio to the medium. It has
Remember-
nothing to do
Oh,
with
there's
it.
no weight
Remember
horizontally.
this. Remember
Because
this.
look, I
this
can
is called
change.
net
I
forces.
change that acceleration when I change the medium.
Yeah, remember there's a thing called net forces. So like I had earlier,
Yes, there
my
is. You
phone
just
is here.
demonstrate. Yes, thank you for demonstrating that. Yes,
Okay, it has a net
you're
force, but that's
countering
not
the
gravity.
gravitational force.
There is no gravitational force.
Wait.
Then
If there's
the
no gravitational force, yeah, if there's no gravitational force and there's a normal force from your hand to your phone, why is your phone not accelerating? There's an upward force from your hand.
Because my phone, my
why
hand's
not
not
doing that?
accelerating. Nothing's accelerating.
Your hand
That's
is-
the whole point.
You're
It's in
pushing
Yeah,
there.
your
the
hand's not
phone.
accelerating.
It's
Remember,
inert.
you guys have to be working now on general relativity. So you have to believe that this phone, when it falls, it's not accelerating. It's the Earth rising up to meet the phone. That's
No, that's
why
your
at, like, sitting
misunderstanding
here.
of a YouTube clip.
No, that's why we're sitting on my hand. Based
That's
on your
you
model, it sits at
That's
one.
on you.
No. Based on your model, as this phone's sitting on my hand, it's at 1G because the Earth is pushing it up. Okay?
G? Did you say
Let me step
1G?
in a little bit.
According to your model. That's why when it
it's
lets
1G.
go and it's we standing here and we seeing it fall, based on your model, it says 0G. So it's not actually accelerating towards the ground, it's the ground rising up to meet the phone. That's what your model says.
From
based
my
on your-
frame of reference, when I observe it, and when I observe you put it on your hand, you're actually providing acceleration countering it of the same value.
No. The phone has no
Opposite
acceleration.
direction. Yes, it does.
We are the ones, according to your model, having the acceleration, forcing the phone
Could you
up.
do me a favor and just lift your phone half an inch above your hand and drop it?
That's the point that
Just
Saul
drop
made
it.
earlier.
Just
We
drop
took
it.
it out.
It's not going to
Listen,
break. Just do
you
it.
took it. Listen, there's nothing to support it now. The air cannot support it.
Just
This is
just let go
displacement.
of it.
This is displacement that Saul was talking about earlier. So when I have nothing to support it anymore, it has to accelerate because nothing can support it.
Yeah.
I'm explaining your model to you. When this phone falls like that based on your model, it's not accelerating. My hand lifted to meet the phone. That's what general
That's your
relativity says.
misunderstanding. That's your misunderstanding
No,
of the
that's
YouTube
what
clip.
general relativity says. It's not YouTube. Nothing
It
with
doesn't
this.
matter. Let's keep it simple. We're not ready for
Are
relativity.
you
right
are
now.
you then
Good
saying
old
that?
Newton.
Are you saying Einstein's wrong? Wait. Are you saying Einstein's
No.
wrong?
Einstein's always right.
So
Even when
then
he don't believe in himself anymore, you know. Oh my God.
Oh, Einstein.
Okay,
Einstein's.
you do know Einstein and Newton have two different models.
Did you break his ego, Keith?
I do. I also know one more thing that maybe you don't know.
Okay, and what's that?
1916, Generalized Theory of Relativity, Chapter 21, the Newton's equations as first approximation. Chapter 20, that at Earth-like scales, relativity reduces itself to Newtonian equations. Thank you very much. We
Yeah,
can
'cause
stay with that one.
Newton equations don't work on a celestial scale.
Let's start. Yes, they do.
But
Let's
you have
start
to
with
know-
chapter
but you have to
21,
Did he say
and then
Earth-like?
we
You have
will
to
work
differ-
our way.
wait. You have to
up to
differentiate
relativity.
the differences between Newtonian mechanics and Einsteinian mechanics, though gravitational mechanics.
Yes, sir.
One's a force,
However,
the one is not a force.
yes, that is absolutely correct. However, at Earth-like scales, Newtonian mechanics holds very close to relativity. And we can just use it. We don't have to confuse our audience with space-time and geodesics right now.
Okay, let's put it this way. If I walk up to someone and I slap them on the face, let me say I slap myself on the cheek. The one
do that
model
often?
says my face slapped the cheek. The other model says that the hand slapped the face. You get it?
Yeah.
Same outcome.
You could
different
argue
model.
that in court.
The one says it was a force. The other one says it only appeared as a force. Now they
I
can be
agree.
calculated to do the same observation. Does it make them the same though?
No, it doesn't.
Great. So Newton is not the same as Einstein.
It's not.
Great, but they can calculate it the same.
On Earth-like scales, yes.
Great. So does it mean that gravity is real just because they can calculate it the same?
No, gravity is real because we observe it as a phenomenon.
No. You observe things falling, and you assume that it's due to gravity. Okay, that's an assumption. That's an assumption. Now, here's where y'all have a real problem with gravity. Hold on, Peter. This is where y'all have a real problem with gravity. Okay. How do we have air on Earth? Your model says that we have gravity holds the air to the Earth. Can you cite or point me in the direction of any experimental data proving that gravity is the cause of a pressure gradient or that it has any effect whatsoever on a gas?
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay, cool.
Here's an experiment demonstrating that gas accelerates towards the ground due to gravity.
Okay.
It's a very sophisticated experiment, very expensive.
You put that link down here in the private chat so I can look at it myself, because
absolutely
first.
I want to know.
It is going to take you. Can I just finish my spiel? Can I finish my spiel? It's going to take you a while to read through it because it's a very sophisticated experiment.
That's fine. I'm
sorry.
good with that. Don't mistake me. Don't mistake me. Okay. Don't make assumptions on me that I don't understand what they're talking about or any
I
other
have not.
Okay.
I'm just apologizing for throwing a big document at you because your standard that you asked for to
like it. Go
demonstrate individual gas atoms high, so it demands a very sophisticated experiment.
Sorry, it's talking about antimatter.
Yes.
The motion of antimatter is gas
hydrogen,
antimatter.
which is a gas.
No, it's not.
Hydrogen is a gas.
It hasn't even been proven to exist.
No.
Wait. Does gas have a density?
Yes.
So it has matter. So not antimatter.
Not antimatter.
Antimatter is regular matter, just with opposite properties.
Gas has matter.
Yes.
So it's not antimatter.
It can't be antimatter.
Antimatter is matter. It's just a name.
No.
Yes.
Matter. It would be called matter. That's like saying the Antichrist is Christ.
These are hydrogen atoms made out of antiprotons and anti-electrons.
Hydrogen atoms, so not hydrogen itself. Hydrogen atoms.
Yes, individual particles of gas in gaseous state.
So it's not. So we can say it's not antimatter. Then they should change it to gas.
It's antihydrogen, which is a gas.
Antihydrogen.
These are individual. These people are producing.
Where would I be able to find some antihydrogen?
In CERN.
Where?
In CERN.
In CERN. So in a magical Narnia land that none of us can visit or go and check or nothing. This is nothing demonstrable at all.
You can visit CERN.
This isn't even reality based. This isn't
It
even
is very much reality based. It's very much.
It is not reality based. Not at all.
Okay. I want to see
reality based as it can be.
By making up some shit in a tube in a secret base somewhere in Switzerland, that's really
not a secret
something
base.
that doesn't exist, a theoretical thing called antimatter, and now a theoretical thing. My first time ever hearing of anti-hydrogen. Is there anti-oxygen and anti-everything else too?
Not yet.
Or is this
They're
more than
difficult to
Narnia
make.
theoretical? Okay. This is theoretical horseshit, right?
Anti-hydrogen. No, if it were a theoretical, then oxygen, but we can't make it because it's physical. It's a physical experiment. That's why you do it with anti-hydrogen. Otherwise, we'd be making.
Earlier, you can't show me a volume of gas being drawn to the Earth.
That's exactly what that experiment does.
That is not
No. It's not.
That's not at all.
Okay. Look what it says on here. The field measurement using the electron-magnetron frequency, so magnetics. We have developed a technique that uses the magnetron frequency of an electron plasma as a measure of magnetic field at various actual point positions in the alpha G device. So not gravity, magnetic field.
That's not the part of the paper that.
That's the one you put in.
I'm citing.
That's the one you cited, man.
Yes,
Is
but
that
that's
one
not
you
the
cited,
part you
see?
need to focus on. That's how they control the atoms.
It's
That's
telling
how
us
they
how it's
make
Where's the
them
measured.
part? Where's the part
stay
we
It's
got to
telling us
focus?
how it's measured
at the very end.
at the very end. Conclusion.
Mhm.
No, that's not telling us how it's measured. That's just the conclusion. You actually
The
have to
rest
read
of
the paper. You have to
the
read
paper
the
tells you how it's measured. Yes,
Oh, what I was reading is how it was measured, mate.
you have to read it top to bottom, and then you'll understand.
Where
It's
was
too
it?
much for
Where was that?
you to interpret it on the fly by
Let me ask you
nitpicking.
something, Peter. Peter, then if this is true, and the gravity holds air to the Earth,
Mhm.
right? Then I should be able to take a box and seal it up right out here, approximately 14.7 pounds per square inch, right? And put it into a vacuum chamber.
Mhm.
Reduce the pressure in that vacuum chamber, and then open the lid of that little box, and the air inside that box should remain at 14.7 psi, right?
No, it's going to spread through the chamber.
What? Why? Why didn't gravity hold it into the box? It's holding the
explain.
vacuum chamber down. It's holding all the air around me down. Why didn't it do that?
I will explain. So the gas particles being pressurized
In a container.
So when you release them, they will go in random directions, but there will be a very strong bias towards the bottom of the chamber.
Really? So can you measure this bound? You can actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is due to gravity.
That's what this experiment does, by the way. It measures the bias towards the bottom.
Okay,
That's exactly
I'm
what
going
it
to show
does.
you here what it says. Wait. This is how they do it. So a cloud is extracted from the reservoir, which is a container, and moved axially to the desired measurement location. Pat's potentials introduce a transverse electric field, in otherwise cylindrically symmetric penning trap. When the trapping potential is weak, the magnetron orbit is no longer centered. We quickly decrease the trapping voltage and wait. Okay, about 10 milliseconds for the cloud to arrive at the desired off axis. So they use magnetism to move it in its desired location inside containment, by the way. The trapping voltage is then quickly increased and the cloud begins to orbit the trap center. After a variable amount of time, it leads toward one of the multi-channel plate detectors. The final magnetron phase can be extracted from the cloud's image position. So not gravity,
not
literally
yet,
using magnetism to move
Yes,
it
how else
to their
would you?
desired location.
Yes.
So gravity is not pulling gas down?
Not in that setup, not yet, yes. We have to control the atoms, we have to place them and drop them, let go of them. They're describing to you ad nauseum, because they're nerds, move 100 individual gas atoms to a given location, how they stabilize them, how they cool them, so they stop moving randomly, and then they observe and measure what happens to those atoms. Guess what?
In other
They have a
words,
very strong
they
downward bias.
manipulated. In other words, they manipulated a whole bunch of variables to make it in an environment that the gas cannot move, support it anymore. So therefore,
You
it
got it.
can only
You got
go one direction. Do you understand
Not
the issue here?
still understand that paper
I can
very well.
make a simplified version of this. I can take a ball, and it can sink. Now I take that same ball out and I perforate it fully. You know, like you would get pumice, and I put it. Now it will float. Do you understand? That's practically what they did on small scale.
No, that's not what they did. That's not.
They manipulated the variable so much to make it go in the desired direction it had to go.
That's the opposite.
They took the properties away from gas.
What
say, look,
properties did they take away?
Gas, which is not gas, is now falling down.
How is it not gas? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Gas always moves in all directions constantly.
Only if it has sufficient
so now
energy.
They took that property away and then said, look, now it's falling.
My friend, when you freeze gas, it stops moving, doesn't it?
If you freeze gas, it's a solid now. It's not a gas.
Correct, because you've removed enough energy for it.
You
It's
realize
not
that a gas and a
self-countering,
solid
it's-
are two different states of matter.
I
They're
do
two different
realize
states
that
of
very
matter.
much.
All
Sea
right.
Line, thank you for your $10. It says pilots aren't trained to treat the Earth as flat and stationary. Actually, they are, man. You sure about that? Very sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we get to that. Maybe we
Been
talk
an
about
AV
that
I've been
later
a-
when
been-
we
listen,
get
I've been
past
an AV
gravity.
freak since I was a kid, man.
Questions. They want to see
I must say,
individual
I am enjoying
atoms
this chat with
falling
you
due
guys,
to
by the
gravity.
way. I have to say, you guys are awesome. Enjoying this
Now,
chat.
wait a second. How do they know that?
We're the best.
Wait, I got a big question on this one. So, how do they know that individual atoms were hitting the ground? How do they? Nobody's ever even seen an atom. It's up till now. It's still a theoretical. It's still a theoretical thing. So, is there any video of these atoms hitting the
My friend,
thing, or
You ask a question, and then instead of waiting
Well,
for
I'm
an
asking,
answer,
you know,
you continue monologuing. What's the deal with that? You ask a question,
Okay, well,
and then
answer it
instead
then. How do they see a fucking atom fall
you
on the
provide.
ground?
Okay.
How do
They
they see an
build a
atom?
very precise instrument for measuring the interactions between the atoms and the device.
Ah. So if the atom is theoretical, nobody's actually seen it, and you have to detect it. Can I go get one of these things to detect an atom hitting the ground, or is this just something magical
you
that
can-
they have at this
the
place
Geiger
that you
counter.
can't go visit?
Atoms have been seen. I can provide you with a photo of atoms.
Are you talking about that little glowing light that they've got between 2 points there?
Among others.
Yeah. Oh,
The
and the
Geiger
one
counter
that's
detects
replicated
particles.
pattern that they made on a computer screen. I've
Mhm.
seen those. I've seen those too. What they found out recently, if you're not up to date with it, is that what they find to be the most smallest thing, what you would call an atom, is nothing more than a toroidal energy field. It's nothing more to it that its basic breakdown than nothing more than energy.
That's an interesting claim. Who has established that? I mean, what
Alan
is
from
Oh shit, I forget.
Space Outage.
I read that at, but it's
was it the great theorist Ken Wheeler, perhaps?
no, it wasn't. No,
Sure.
and I'll tell you one thing. Your little picture that you got of the light between the 2 points there. Okay, I noticed that doesn't look anything like the little orbiting shit thing that they show everybody. This is what an atom is.
So do you think that's proof of the toroidal field vortex?
No, I don't think it is proof of anything. I think it's a picture of a fucking light in between two little points. That's what I think
So
it is.
what experimental evidence do you have for a toroidal field vortex?
Yeah, but didn't they use electric fields
Otherwise,
to
it's
create?
computer science.
Because every
Wait,
electrical thing puts out a toroidal
Yeah.
field.
According to what?
Didn't they claim they used electricity to hold that atom in place, though?
Yes. Can I walk you through this
So
experiment?
how do you know it's an
Flatzoid?
atom?
I would love to.
How do you know it's an atom?
Can I tell you, Flatzoid? Can I engage real quick? How do they know it's an
Please
atom?
tell us, who is Adam?
How
say
do they know? What was your question? Let's go step by step. What was your question?
How do you know it's an atom?
Because they actually had to make it first.
So
They combined an
but atoms aren't
antiproton
made
and
though. You don't
yes, you
make
can make
atoms.
atoms. You make them all the time.
No, you don't.
Yes, you
How
do.
do you make an atom?
By sticking electrons, protons, and neutrons.
You do know the electrons and protons is just a model. It's just they're used to
Well,
explain it.
people
Doesn't
who believe in that
actually
religion happen to be able to manufacture atoms.
Or what they think.
manufacture atoms.
That means they can produce matter out of nothing.
We make
They can
atoms.
produce matter out of nothing.
No. They make atoms out of other components, other particles, or even energy.
My point is they use electricity.
You don't
The point
create
is they use
anything, you just
electricity
glue
between
things
2
together.
points. Wait. My
Mhm.
point is they use they use electricity between 2 points
Uh-huh.
to claim they're holding an atom in place. How do you know that's an atom
Yes.
and not just a byproduct of the electricity at 2 points?
Because you made the atom in another part of the device and you
can't
moved
make
it
an atom,
using
man.
the
That's the
electron.
whole point.
Yes,
Where
you
are you
can.
getting this
You can't
from that you can make atoms?
Come on.
It's not.
Right, how they make it.
Oh my
Actually, a
God.
large
It's a
part of the
model.
paper tells you how they make
It's
them.
a model. The atom is a model. It's not. It's just a. How can I put this? It's a theory. It's
false. Whatever it is, it falls to the ground.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever they made falls to the
like.
ground.
So not gas then.
Gas.
No, it's totally
freely
gas.
moving particles.
Why did they have to make the gas? Why didn't they just have some? Hydrogen's freely available. Oh, you can get it from water, for crying out loud. Why would you have to make hydrogen?
Remember, they had to manipulate it in such a way that it's no longer a gas to be able to give it to the desired direction needed.
Jesus.
It is
and
a gas.
I read
it,
and I read some of it through while you guys were talking. And this is them trying to figure out how dark matter works.
Sovereign, could I follow up?
To do with that.
No, it's got to do with dark matter. If you read there, it's talking about the Euler's equation and dark matter.
Sovereign, you mentioned that we can produce hydrogen from water. Can you describe that process to me, as you understand?
Well, no, not really. They just using electricity, they can separate the oxygen and the hydrogen. Apparently, that's what they're doing on the ISS. My question is that if it's 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen, how are they venting out that excess hydrogen, which would accumulate and become a real hazard? And also, where are they getting the nitrogen that they breathe? But either way, through some process of electrolysis, they can separate the hydrogen and the oxygen.
Yeah.
I think it's a technology they use in rebreathers as well.
Rebreathers are more so to absorb excess carbon.
Yeah.
And so you don't have toxicity.
But in any case, the hydrogen freely available. You can get it. I produced hydrogen in chemistry class in junior high.
So you remember doing it then? So,
I put calcium. I put calcium seashells.
So you accept
the hydrochloric acid.
Elements. You accept that a molecule can be decomposed into pure elements then?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So doesn't that imply the existence of some atomic unit of structure, whatever we want to call it?
Possibly, it could imply that. Yeah, I guess.
So what's the holdup of saying that atoms exist? I mean, atom is just a name.
Because I'm not going because that's why we're in the mess we're in these days as it is because I'm not willing to hold on to a belief system. Okay,
but what if we call it something else? What if we call it a toroidal field?
Well, I'm not fully on board that the actual thing is made of particles.
Well, you see, this is the point I was trying to make earlier, though. Just because they make a model and they can use that model to explain stuff doesn't make that model fact.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the whole point. We can say the model works.
True.
Yeah, so we can say the gravitational model works in physics because we understand it's just talking about the acceleration downwards. Great. Yeah. But that doesn't make gravity a real thing.
Okay.
That's the point. Just like atoms, the atomic model works for certain areas, but doesn't make the atom a real thing.
Sure, but that's easily resolved, Flatzoid. What we're saying is
not really
small particles that have mass, they have inertia, they have properties that are measurable. What they are, it's true, it's a little bit of a mystery. Actually, below the atomic level, the mystery begins. But that's fine. What we know is that we can study, measure, produce, and control these. We do, and when we're extremely precise and sophisticated, like in that experiment, and we control for all the different variables, confounding variables, we observe those things accelerate towards the ground, even though they are in gaseous state. There you go. That's the answer to your question.
It wasn't gas anymore. They had to change its property. They changed its properties.
What property did they change?
Listen, let me tell you one of the problems that you have with this whole thing too, right? Is because the assumption, okay, the assumption of mass attracting mass and the gravity and all this other, right? You realize this is the whole reason that they had to invent the concept of dark matter. Because what they observed was not matching what they were preaching. So they said, well, we couldn't be wrong, So it has to be something we can't see, detect, or anything else that's there, and we're going to call it dark matter. Now, I'm not kidding you. That is exactly what they did. And because of the perception deception that most people are under, and the way these people have had a PR campaign placed on them like no other, people will just go with it because, well, so-and-so said. I don't give a shit what so-and-so said. So-and-so was smoking crack, man.
You asked a question about gas falling or not falling.
Right.
This has nothing to do with cosmology and studying the movement of galaxies and the expansion of the universe.
Failed because it was no longer a gas.
What did it make it stop being a gas? Please explain.
Did they have to change the properties? Did they have to change the properties to it? They didn't.
They didn't.
They didn't. They didn't change the properties.
They didn't change the properties.
They didn't change the properties. Now, you just said a couple of minutes ago that they created this atom that well, dude, there's your problem. You can't create atoms.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. I don't care what people tell you.
Exactly how it's
the more I'm reading through it, the more I see they're just using magnetic fields to get the desired results. So they're manipulating the order.
Use it to manipulate the particles to set them up for the test. The same way, if you were trying to measure the acceleration of a ball, you would have to pick it up first, let go of it. This is exactly what they're doing.
Okay, well, let's do something like that. Let's take a ball of gas and drop it onto the floor.
Let's do that. This is what those people are doing.
No, they're not.
They're not.
That's exactly what they're doing.
They're manipulating.
Did they drop a ball of gas on the floor?
No, they're manipulating the direction based on magnetic field.
You are misreading. You're reading the wrong part.
I'm reading through it. The experimental protocol was to stack anti-hydrogen atoms, then release them by ramping down the current in two mirrors coils simultaneously over 20 seconds. The anti-atoms could escape either to the top of the trap through mirror G or the bottom through mirror A, and substantially annihilate on the walls of the apparatus. The annihilations and their positions vertices could be detected and reconstructed using the alpha G radial time projection chamber detector, blah, blah. The coaxial barrel-shaped scintillator detector was used for the event selection. Numerical simulations of the atom trajectories methods. The methods are indicators hydrogen atoms were trapped and gradually released from vertically symmetric trap. That is an axis magnetic field maxima. So they changed the magnetic field current to give its desired result.
That's the trap.
So it's not gravity then.
It's not gravity.
Keep reading.
Okay,
you're reading the part you're focusing on. That is the
about 80% of them would exist through the bottom. About 80% of them would exist through the bottom, exit through the bottom. So 80%, so 20% of them didn't go down.
Yes.
Due to gravity.
Because they have kinetic energy still, and they move in random direction. There's a bias.
Vertical gradients in the magnetic field magnitude can obviously mimic the effect of gravity. Oh, my word.
Yes. Yes, keep reading.
Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay.
That you can
Thank you very much,
generate a
C-Line,
force.
for your $5 who says flat earthers and dark matter. Name a more iconic duo. Oh, wait. What?
Okay, I should let Sea Lion speak so he doesn't have to pay money to say something witty. Go ahead.
Yeah. I appreciate all the super chats, by the way, man.
Yeah, dude. This is a fun show, and you didn't mute us yet, so.
No, I won't mute you, and you guys are always welcome to come back. I'm enjoying this chat, but I think this is awesome.
Well, I just want to contrast it to certain other Nathan Oakley people.
Oh, yeah. How's my balls taste? Oh, no, man.
We haven't got to that level yet, so unless we start talking about
I don't think it will ever get
talking about Cavendish, then maybe we can talk about how it.
He might be rude, but he talks about the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still respect him in that matter. Although he is vulgar, but that's about it.
Well, I know.
But yeah, I usually only have about 2-hour shows. Tomorrow is Thursday.
That's right.
I was thinking because I'm having a long weekend, and the MDD debate is moved to next weekend now because Peter Markley, when he found out he's debating me, he's making excuses. So it might be moved to next, So maybe we can do the Saturday again if you guys want to. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. Yeah, Saturday. I just want to find out. Sunday, I think I got Sergio on for his presentation. Yeah, Sunday. So Saturday. You guys up for another chat Saturday?
I'm up for it. Yeah.
With what for dinner?
Awesome. Yeah, because I must say I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it's been fun, right? My witty comments are sure to please.
And I mean, at least we don't have to swear at each other and go ape shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
So,
not
guys-
Luca. It's not Luca. That's the big bonus points right there.
Yeah, I did
You
tell
guys
him
got that
before the
going for you too. You're not Luca.
I did tell him before the show. Unfortunately, it's not going to work because it always turns into the Luca show.
Yeah, exactly. No, forget that.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys ready to give closing statements? PJ, you first.
Yeah, I didn't put much input into that. I mean, most of my little bit of debating was in the private chat. I just think it's the same as normal. We're same points since 2014, 2015. It seems to go around in circles, and it just go. I think it's going to continue to be the same all the time. I think the understanding can be fallacious. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it just seems downright deceptive. You know what I mean? Or willful ignorance as well. You know, it's
Manners don't cost anything.
yeah, manners don't cost anything.
When you come on someone's stream, it's only polite to shut up.
That's true. But no, apart from that, it's a decent enough conversation. But yeah, it'd be good to like. I mean, it was good. Fair enough for you debating all that, but Peter, you were a little too. You were saying, "Let me talk. Let me finish off this point." It was you who mostly spoke the whole night when Flatz was trying to get his point across. Like
But it's okay. It's based on excitement, though.
I know.
I overspoke them as well, so I'm not gonna.
It happens. And bring back. Don't say that.
I just did.
Bring back.
And you got a show tomorrow, PJ?
Yeah, 8 a.m. GMT. About Catherine Coleman.
Oh, nice.
The creepy one.
Yeah,
My
and
favorite girl.
C-Line, your statements?
Sorry, what?
C-Line? You want to
closing statement? Yeah, so I think we made progress on the physical curvature thing. We cleared up some things on how inertial navigation works, the difference between bias and variance, and how it affects the oscillations, the reason that they're systematic and not random. I would like to continue that conversation with your request for real data, which I think is totally reasonable, and I would love to oblige you in that regard. And the other thing I'd just like to say is that Sovereign, I think that we can find common ground on the idea of, what those constituent gases are when we make hydrogen and oxygen out of water. Maybe come to some understanding of, something that doesn't require faith, but maybe that we could establish some scientific evidence for. So.
Well, I know for a fact, yes, I produce hydrogen by the breaking down of calcium with hydrochloric acid. The byproduct we collected. In fact, they had to clear the school out because I collected it in a mason jar, and it was kind of dangerous. So that was, that's I'm talking about pickle jar, mason jar, not one of those little quart ones. Yeah, that's a lot of hydrogen. Anyway, yeah, we can do that. I don't know. I got Reefer Roulette tonight. I put the link in the chat. Reefer Roulette on the Jeranism channel. Should be a lot of fun. Show up. They got prizes, contests.
Awesome.
Have a good time.
And Ryan. Nice. Brilliant.
Profound. Yes, it was. There he is. Hold on. Ryan, did you say something? Okay. Come on, Googie.
Peter?
Thank you. Yeah. sure, we all arguments over and over again. Unfortunately, the nature of reality seems to be constant over time, so these arguments won't be changing anytime soon. I do apologize for talking over people. My brain works fast, so when I engage in like describing a problem, I really like the idea of back and forth as opposed to like unnecessary tangents. I know that us nerds are often guilty of like just explaining too much. Sometimes it's better to just stay on point and try to triangulate, so to speak, the agreement or the misagreement, as opposed to going on and rambling about tangential things. So that's just my style to everybody's like.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I liked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
one sec. Could I just? I don't want to forget. We have a debate scheduled for this Friday between Jesse Gordon and the illustrious Bev, who has tried.
On the level.
Try thinking.
Oh boy, can I?
Really,
This should be good.
So
Where's it?
I'll,
Where's it?
right now,
scheduled?
it's just through my server, but I'm trying to figure out where to stream it to. So
Yeah, guys.
Bev was going to stream it on his channel potentially, so I just need to work out the details with him.
Can
But
you stick your link in the private? Then I can stick it for everybody.
Yeah,
And they
sure.
can- Peter, do you also have a channel?
No, I am a guest on Sea Lion's
Okay.
server.
Yeah.
Globe Gangsters.
Globe Gangsters. Yeah, that's the Discord. Yeah, I'm on there.
Yeah, that's how you posted like this. So that was good. Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we should mention the topic of the debate. It's been once and for all.
Oh yes. 1 second.
Yeah.
I want to be precise. Jesse made certain that we had to be very precise. Let's see where the events category. Sorry, this Discord's trying to shake me down for more money, so it's blocking everything. One event. Okay. The event of the century, the ultimate globe debate, are two horizontal planes independently established in two different locations, parallel to each other. So it'll be finalized.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that can be quite an exciting chat.
Yeah,
especially because Bev's not a flat earther.
Well, no, he doesn't know what he is.
Certainly. Don't be a bigot, sir. Do not be a bigot.
We're not at all.
Yeah, he's an undefenser. He's an undefenser, man.
No, he's just discovered the true nature of globe and the non-geometric shape. So
no, he understands. He understands
Wow.
it's
Really?
flat. He just
Wow.
doesn't like the word flat because of its connotation.
He doesn't.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
guys.
want to say he's a closet flat earther, but we're going to help him come out this Friday.
Okay.
I think
and,
Zai's me on his server, by the way.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, putting the serve up for you guys. And Bacon, you have anything to say?
Yes, I wish I came up later. Oh, sorry, earlier.
Well, we're going to do the Saturday again, so. And we can have a longer show then because it's weekend. So I think it can be great. Then we can at least go on 3 to 4 hours if you want to.
Cool.
And hopefully I can stay on longer.
Maybe we can talk about celestial navigation. In addition to the
You can do that as well, yeah.
Yay.
But I must say, it's interesting to see the different way people look at the same arguments, because we definitely see it in total different. We look at the same thing, we see it like as in two 180 differences.
You're saying the same thing sometimes that you don't say it.
So it's interesting. Dislord, do you have any closing statements?
Not so much. It was, I don't know. It was a listen. I don't know what to call it. It was confusing, to say at least.
One of them, this.
And Roger.
Yes, sir. I don't really have too much of a closing statement. I just see a lot of assumptions on another side that really aren't exactly proven and just built upon. So we can go down this rabbit hole if you want to. That's about all I got to say about it.
Awesome. And by the way, Ryan and Roger do have a show together tomorrow again. You have a show tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to do one. Yes.
Awesome. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Roger. Put your link in chat. And then, make sure to go to his show too.
Subscribe to Roger.
Are you doing it about 2 hours before me, Rog?
Yeah, about that. Yes,
About
sir.
2 hours, yeah. Cool.
Vara says your Discord link doesn't work, C-Line.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it's an expired link. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Okay. Let me. Do
Might have
you
kicked you off the
You're
internet.
expired.
Otherwise, I think
Kicked
I
off
might
the
be able-
internet, man.
I don't know
Glow
what's
games.
going on here. It's the current link that we have.
They're gonna blow your phone up, man. They're gonna.
Sometimes you have to change it to a what's the name link, because sometimes it gives you a link that is expired.
Your linky dinky goes nowhere.
I'm afraid to even get on these things anymore. Did you see that crap? Those people, all their pagers blew up.
What?
Yeah, man. I guess the Israelis
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
blew up all these
Because
Hezbollah
people still
pagers.
use pagers.
Yeah,
I didn't even know people still use pagers, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Okay, I can't send a link though, but you should be able to.
I just got paged, guys. Give me a minute.
And you're
Oh wait, invite people. There we
Damn
go.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna edit to no limit. There we go. Expiry date never. Generate new link. Copy. Okay, this is for his Discord, guys. There we go.
Oh, and we also do trivia nights: Globe Earth versus Flat Earth.
Oh,
And I
nice.
believe Flat Earth is the reigning champion at the moment. If I'm
Nice,
not
nice.
correct.
Well, which days do you guys have that?
It kind of just has been unscheduled, but we could make it a scheduled thing. I think it's been really fun. We've had Dan the Waterman, we've had Eden Flat Earth, and we've had Noah from Earth Awakenings. I forget who else has been on there.
Awesome. That sounds exciting.
Blatek.
So
Yeah,
like,
Blatek, the legend.
like general knowledge or specific to what your bias is?
General knowledge, typically.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Man, I used to go to the bar. They'd have trivia night down at that place, man. I'd be winning free drinks all night, man. I used to, as I like a wealth of useless information. You know, one of those people that know the weird shit that nobody else knows. You know, I'm like the guy that one of these days it's going to pay off to know that. You know, and do you remember that commercial where that guy he was just like a total Aaron Burr expert, and everything he had around him was about Aaron Burr, and here's the thing: the first caller to call in and tell us who shot Alexander Hamilton, and he's got a mouthful of peanut butter. He's trying to go Aaron Burr, and they can't understand him. And it's like he's devoted his whole life to the history of Aaron Burr, and here's his moment, and he's screwed.
And then Jeff, and guys, subscribe to Jeff's channel as well. This is the channel. He does readings from. He's done Enoch and Josh. I think you still visit Josh, or you're in Jubilee.
Yeah, I'm still in Jasher right now. So yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
But I
no
was going to
one's-
say, Sovereign, you should come and kick our asses at trivia then.
That'd be fun, man. It'd be fun. Did you get the right link in?
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I put it in link. I'll put it in here for you as well, man.
Oh, I got it down here. Okay, got it.
There we go. Yeah.
Put your links in.
But yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, you want to give a closing statement, Jeff?
Yeah, I wish I could have been on for some of the discussion that I kind of jumped in and said some things, but
Yeah, hopefully next time you can be on the electrostatic discussion, because I mean you work with electronics and stuff, so that'd be quite cool.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it was awesome, guys. It was I'd really appreciate you guys coming on. I think it made a fun, lively show.
It was.
I think we do somehow I don't know, it's like we're talking mess from each other. It's weird. We say something, you say something. I was like, I don't know. But it's great. I do respect you guys, and I think it was a great show. Thank you all for coming.